In December of 2024, we went on vacation to Orlando, and while I was there, I went to Arcade Monsters, a free to play arcade, and did a little tour. There was a lot of really great, colorful pop culture artwork all over the walls of the arcade. It really made everything pop. I'd never seen a bubble soccer before, but I was familiar with bubble hockey. They had it all the time when I was a kid at arcades. Now, Elevator Action is one of my favorite modern arcade games based on a classic arcade, so I was glad that they had that there. I played it. Here's some other modern games that they had, as well as some classics here. Now, Dungeons and Dragons Tower of Doom is one of my favorite beat 'em ups of all time. I love both of the Dungeons and Dragons arcade games. The whole arcade had a really good mix of classic arcade games and modern arcade games, and they were a lot of fun to play. I have some gameplay footage interspersed here that we'll get to of some of the individual games that we played. One thing I can't really talk much about is the food. You can kind of see the menu there and where you can buy food in the arcade. I didn't eat anything while I was there, but it looks like they had some different offerings and they had several tables set up so you could eat. I did love the artwork that they had on the tables. They had artwork from video games and from anime. I had never seen this Airstrike arcade game before, but we both really enjoyed playing it together, so I highly recommend giving it a shot if you ever see it in an arcade. I started recording my Miss Pac Man gameplay while I was there because I did beat the high score that was on the machine at the time when I started playing. I am assuming that these scores reset. I'm not sure if they reset them every week or every day, but at that moment, that day, I did happen to pass the high score. Dragon Spirit is a fun shoot 'em up that we were both playing while we were there, so I ended up getting some footage of that. They had some fighting games on this row, and then they had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and a Simpsons cap. I've only gotten to play Punch Out a handful of times in the arcade, and you'll see at the end of this video that all the power went out on this section of games that I was at. This was the second time it happened while I was there. Not sure what happened, if a breaker just went off, but They got it fixed pretty quickly. This is Fighting X Slayer, and I did not spend enough time with it to really tell you much about it, but I started playing it because Terry was in it. As far as I remember, it was a few months ago, but I remember it playing pretty well. As I walk back to this back section, you'll see that this is all mostly rhythm games all the way back here, with the exception of Pokken Tournament that is set up. But I believe everything else in this back room area is all rhythm games. I did play a couple while I was back there, but I didn't spend too much time in this section. My first experience with Point Blank was on the Time Crisis Arcade 1 Up cabinet, and it was really cool to see a game in that series here at this arcade, so I did spend some time playing it. This arcade is the first arcade where I've had the opportunity to play on a Vuelix cabinet, and they all played very well. This is the first time I played the new Stern X Men Pinball, and I'm a really big X Men fan, so I really enjoyed it. I think it's a great table. I know that one of our local pinball arcades here in town does have that, so I'm going to have to go check that out there as well and get some time in with it. I just want to say Silent Scope is an amazing game, and I'm so glad that they had it at this arcade because I have not played it in years. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment on the video. I'll let Zoltar carry you out, and I'll catch you in the next one.